So guys, post Brexit, will we starve? Will Britain starve? I'm in Switzerland, but will Britain starve? Will they run out of drinking water? It's been said we can't get the chemicals to put in the water to clean the water. You know what easiest way to clean water? Put it in a kettle and boil it. Put it in a pan and boil it. Right? That's the best way. And there's no chemicals, no added fluoride and all the other shit what they put in there. All the other stuff to kill bacteria that might be in there. If you boil it, if there's any bacteria, it's gone. Rainwater. Britain has lots of it. If they could catch it and keep it better, water companies with leaky pipes, then there's enough drinking water. Will we starve, or will Britain starve? When I lived in UK, I had a friend who had a farm, and it was paid a lot of money not to farm that land because it was, well, it would have been competing with other farmers, say the French, and they didn't like that. So he was told to leave his land fallow. And it was a double win for him. He was paid and he set up a shoot on there. So he had pheasant shooting going on. Again, will we starve? I'm a gardener. I'm not a farmer. I keep a little bit of poultry, 3 chickens. I've got about 20 quail at the minute. I breed quail and freeze them. We eat quail and quail's eggs, and the chickens just lay eggs. 3 chickens, I get about 18 eggs a week. And we're a family of 5. We don't eat 18 eggs a week. We can eat 18 eggs a week if we needed to, but we don't. So, will you starve? Chickens are not easy. Now, I'll just correct myself here. When I say chickens are not easy, I'm talking about space and permission. You do need a little bit of space, but you don't need a great deal of space. Permission is a different thing, as in, can you keep them on allotment or in your garden to local rules? Hens. When I say chickens, I'm just talking hens that lay eggs, not cock-a-doodle-doo at 5 o'clock in the morning. Chickens are very easy to keep, but it's the space and permissions that you might need. Quail are easy. I could have 40 quail in cages at least on that wall, maybe more. And with an incubator, I've got a 50 quail egg incubator. So if you get 50%, you get 25. I can put more than 100, 200 in the fridge if I needed to. So it's worth looking into. I'm not a prepper, but I like some self-sufficiency. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Now, lettuce. I've seen somebody saying, "Oh, where will we get our lettuce from?" They import it, don't they? I mean, all them road miles, all them greenies. Greta, what are you on the on the European lettuce situation? All them fields in England, you can grow food. I know people are going to say, yes, but in winter. I've got a friend in Canada. I've seen people, in fact, in an Inuit town that have a greenhouse. Double skin greenhouse. You could even use thermal heating, like we're talking about doing with houses, or thermal cooling as well, because the hardest part of having a greenhouse is keeping it cool in summer. I know, I have a small one. So greenhouses. And here's an example in Canada. Don't have to be that big, but you can grow food. Now, people can say, well, you're going to have to build that. They've had 4 fucking years, right, to sort it out. They're going to go, oh, we better, get something done. All that money what they piss into EU could have been used to set up a system where you could feed more than enough people, even export. And if you couldn't export it, anything that's the rest, you can feed to livestock. Cows, sheep, chickens, all that goes back into that. And that creates manure, which you put back on the fields. How can you starve? How can you think that you're going to starve in England? Okay, you might not be able to get an avocado. Do they grow bananas in Europe? Yes, they do. Canary Islands, for instance. I lived in Spain for 8 years. They had huge crop banana plantations, but the EU bought them from out of the EU because they didn't think the Spanish, the Canarian bananas were good enough. So a lot went to rot. I've seen tomatoes just left to rot on fields in Tenerife just because they didn't pass the EU test. They could have done anything with them. They could have been made into juices. They could have made whatever sauces, whatever. Instead, they didn't pass the EU test for shape and shit like that. Not like they weren't any good. They were good tomatoes. Cast into the fields. They couldn't sell them on the EU market, which is shit, you know, because that was just like sticking the knife into the farmers in the Canaries. So there's so much food goes to waste. The EU control so much and make so many rules that if your tomato's not quite this size, then you can't sell it. That's a fucking travesty. People are starving and they're throwing food away because of EU rules. So will you starve? Like I say, I've got a mate in Alberta. He's got a piece of the farm, what he works for his market garden, and the guy next to him has got 2 greenhouses, and he grows tomatoes practically all year round in Alberta, Canada, which gets down to minus. Well, he sent me a text the other day and it were minus 23, but I think they get down to minus 30s. So if he can grow tomatoes in minus 30, I'm sure the British can fucking do as good, if not better, in England. That's all I'm going to say about that. Anyway, if you understand what I'm trying to say to you, give us a thumbs up, stay strong, fuck the EU, and thanks for all the fish, Macron, you knobhead. Cheers.